Hey there viewers, and we are on day 20 of the website design challenge. My name is Roy, I'm a web designer. I'm going to change this video up a bit. I'm going to slow down the key areas of design, such as the buttons, the circles, just to show how I've done them. Okay, let's get into the challenge. Okay viewers, so we're just going into the video, and if you like to just go to the slow down key areas, I put the timestamps in the description. It's just mainly to do with the circular buttons and icons. I thought it might be useful if you like to know in detail how to do it. And then to the brief, I'm just putting in the keywords: manage your home utilities, save time and money. So here I'm just trying to place the copy on the page, and there was a really good article about most of the web is copy, or 95%, so it's a pretty good idea to start with that. Have your typography, try and get the basics down in terms of heading size, which is the biggest, reducing the line height in a big heading to around 115% or 125%, just to tighten it up. And then from there I'm just gonna eventually place the nav, which I've created a component, and it's just super quick. And if you've been doing this for the past 20 days, it makes sense to have components when you start working with a team or a company that has a lot of people, developers. It makes sense to have components and a design system, which I'd love to get into on another video, because of auto layout and variants, which has come out recently. So yeah, again, the font that I've gone with is Atkinson Hyperlegible, which I think is really cool. And now we're just going to get into the real-time version of the video. So this is a slow down now to real time, and here I'm in the Tailwind CSS UI. I'm just grabbing a couple of icons that I think fit the brief. So here I'm looking for anything that could represent gas, electric, the home. And what I did there is I grouped them, and then I did an auto layout on the right side. And the nice thing about that is it will just arrange it for you like this. And from there I went into each one, and I think because they're all components, let's just see. So here I'm probably gonna detach each component. Let's have a look again. Aha, yeah. So what I did there, I times the width and the height by 2, just to make it bigger, because it's a bit too small at 24 by 24. And I think it's a nice thing to do, just to make it stand out a bit. It's not too overpowering as well. And let's see, probably taking a little pause there. Sometimes you space out when you're doing designs, but hopefully not too long, as we have a time of 1 hour. And I think here I'm just thinking of what to do with the icons. You can even imagine without anything, that will probably help the user know what the page is about or what the business is about. But here, straight away, as you know me, I like to put the icons in shapes, and in this case circles, and each circle I believe is 100 by 100, or I think I have to reduce it down. So here the idea is to put each icon in a circle. But actually this one is the main CTA of sign up. So here I'm going to create a dash border, and this is something you can play around with, which I think is really cool. You don't just have to go with solid borders. So you can see there's quite quick to do. So when you change the thickness of the stroke to 12, as I did, and then you put in dash border of 4, or experiment with the numbers, you'll get a layout like this, which kind of looks like a timer, or them thermometer things, or Nest. and that kind of comes from my memory. So I thought, why not try this out? It could act as a button, it could stand out, and what I feel we could do with that, the stroke border or the dash border, is put a gradient in as well, and this will stand out from the rest. And this is what you'll see later in the video when I slow it down again. And this font is called Morganite, and this is a really nice tall condensed font. And the nice thing about condensed fonts is you can fit a lot of letters in a tight space. So this is, and it stands out as well. You can have it quite big. So here I just have really simple sign up, and from there I think I just end up grouping it. And when you group things, it's just a lot easier when you have a lot of elements. So now I believe I'm going to detach each one. Let's see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put each one in a circle, but when it's a component, I haven't found a perfect way of doing it yet. So I'm probably going to detach it. Oh, there you go. I did. And then you probably have to then unclip the content. Let's see what I do. Okay, I believe I'm going to detach. Right click and then detach. Where is detach? No, I'll get rid of the clip content. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now I just end up going into each one and pasting it in, and then unticking the clip content. And the nice thing is you just paste it in each one, and it just positions it already for you, which I think is really cool. And that might be because it's a component, and there's just so many ways of doing this, but in terms of saving time, this was super quick for me. And there's loads of other ways of doing this, like variants and things like that, but I'm trying to do this from scratch just to show the process. So yeah, I'm unclipping it, and then there we have the 5 icons. So now we're into the speed up again, and so I'm just thinking, okay, if I get rid of that email sign up, just put a huge button in the middle and something different, and make the main nav on the footer, because who wants to see navigation, right? You want to see the heading, the benefit, and then the CTA. So we're trying to change the priority a bit. And then here I've seen some designs where they have a background, a really light background, and I thought that's quite a nice style to have. So again, we're gonna go into the slow version. So what I'm doing here, I'm just giving each one, I'm detaching each one. Okay, and that's probably because I'm planning to give them their own colors, and what I tend to do here is give the circle a really light background. But yeah, this is how I produce the lines. So I duplicate it, each one, and I think I'm just doing Command C and Command V in the classic copy paste. And what I'm going to do here is then hide the ones that are below, because I'm going to save them to feel as a light color, the background color. So it's basically 2 layers. And then the one on top, I'm going to then just create that dashed border, so it's like a timer. So here I've given it a stroke of 1, and it's inside, and then I proceed to the vector points, and then I go to the pen tool and just delete the anchor points, and that is really nice and simple. So now you have one area, one quarter of the line loaded, and then I give it a red of 600. This red / 600. This is Tailwind CSS, and that is a strong color. and then from there I then unhide the background below and give it the lightest red. So now the style is just not to have so many strong colors everywhere, because the user's eyes are just going to go all over the place. The attention, there's just everything is grabbing your attention, and when that happens, nothing will get your attention. So there's certain times that you want to use strong color and certain times you don't, and this is why I'm choosing to have the background a light orange, I believe. And now I'm doing the same technique. I'm just going to the vector points and then deleting the other two. So now it kind of looks like that timer or a loader, and I thought, oh, this is different, why not try it out? And then I probably move on to the next one. Or actually, I'm going to each icon and giving it the strongest red or the darkest red. So on the scale there, oh no, actually I didn't give it the darkest, but I gave it a red 700. And now this will probably be an orange 700. So it's got that nice scale of color from light to dark. So it's all kind of matching, and you can see it's quite a nice simple thing to do. And then here I'm deciding on how to do the green home, where you could probably just have it a full circle. I think that would be quite nice. So it kind of like your home is completed, maybe. And the home icon's in the middle, because again, this is what the whole business revolves around. They're also planning to do automation, which I think is interesting. So there's all this smart home and stuff you can automate at home, which is interesting. So here I decide to go with green, and I'm giving it the lightest green background color. And again, I'll go to the border and I give it a green of around 600. I'm increasing the border to 4, probably all of them are 4 pixels. And I said, yeah, let me give that a dashboard of 4. So this kind of, it randomizes the design a bit, but it's not too crazy. I think the icons could just work well without any imagery, and I think it's still pretty strong. So now it's the light bulb, which is meant to represent lights or electricity maybe, and then here I think I'm going to choose red or green or blue, purple. Actually it's going to be blue, yes. So blue 500 or 600, and again I just do the same technique. And sometimes when you're doing this challenge, don't worry about being perfect or having all the answers. So a lot of feedback is, oh, did you think of this, did you think of that? And it's very easy to get bogged down in the details, but you're not going to have all the answers straight away. And don't worry about it, you know, just go with your gut, and as long as you're enjoying it, there'll be times when it's tough, but I think when you get it done and you share it on social media, you feel proud of yourself, so give yourself a pat on the back. And the last one here is electricity, I believe, and this is the typical yellow. I think, is it yellow? I went with yellow or orange. It probably is yellow. And hopefully these lights associate well with everyone. So red is for heating, blue is for electric or lighting. It could be totally wrong, but anyway, I'm just trying to go with different colors. And am I actually using orange? No, that's yellow. Yeah. So again, let me know what you think about slowing down key areas of the design. Let me know in the comments, give it a like, and yeah, we're back to the fast version. So now you've been through doing those icons. I slowed it into real time. Hope you had fun with that. And I think it's nice practice just to make icons different, how you can make it your own. And I'm trying to make the size bigger now just to see how that looks. and I don't think I stay with that, or maybe I did actually. Wow, yeah. And there, because they're all within auto layout, I just increase the spacing between each items of around 200, I think 200 pixels, and it just spaces out everything nicely. And okay, yeah, so now I'm back in the hunt for an image. It's quite funny now because I'm finding myself opening Unsplash and Pexels and just going between both. It's like a versus battle between them, just see who finds or who has the best image. But in this case, it was an illustration from stories.freepik.com, and I thought, okay, well, actually I've actually saved this in my hard drive because I came across it. It might be useful one day, and this was the perfect day. It's a smart home illustration, so I thought, okay, I've got to use this one. And again, the style, it's not to everyone's taste, but my style is just simple, clean, minimal. But I do love comics as well, and I feel the style of it is kind of a long comics, the comic style of it. And he was facing the opposite side, so it's just a quick, easy thing to flip it horizontally, so he's looking at the main CTA or the heading. And then now I'm just changing the icons now. Well, I'm getting rid of what they have already, and that took a while, and just gonna then replace it with what I've created, just to make the illustration a bit more custom rather than just using what's already there, just to tie it in with the whole goal of the page or the whole design of the page. And it kind of makes sense to have the navigation in the footer now, so it's just away from the illustration. And some sites it does work well with having navigation on the footer. If you encourage navigation by using the keyboard, that could be a nice thing to do. But yeah, I'm just placing the icons now around the user who has his phone, so it gives the illusion that everything is controlled by the phone, and then the home icons in the big screen. I think that's quite a nice way to do it. Now I'm giving the main CTAs a really dark green, and now we're back to the fast version, or the slow version actually. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did this button, or the style of it. So I'm just thinking, how can I then do a gradient, and I think it's quite straightforward. You just have to create a linear gradient, and then you just have to have 5 colors. So I start from red, and I think I chose red 400. I'll create a new one. Sure what you call it, but again, it's all close where they are. So the next one is orange, and then the next one after that is yellow, then green, and then blue, and it's all around 500 range. And there you go. Quite straightforward, but really nice and different. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed doing that sign up button. If you haven't, you can watch it, rewind, you'll see I've slowed it down to real time. So now we just, what am I doing at this point? I'm just placing the icons. Oh yes, I'm actually making the icon borders the same style as the sign up circle. So I'm giving them their own dash borders, and I'm making them a bit longer or thicker. So again, it looks similar to the main CTA, so that it's kind of consistent, the pattern. And I think at this point, why not play with borders? Don't always stick with solid. Try dashed, and then try giving it more thickness, see what happens. And I think I'm playing around with the CTA color, and then I went with Orbitron, which is another nice font. I thought, no, that doesn't sit well. You can see there I made the thickness a bit thicker, but I stuck with 10. And then zooming out is really nice because you can see how the whole concept, if it's balanced enough. So there's quite a lot going on around him, and probably what I'm going to do now is just experiment or try different versions. So here I just made the footer bold as well, so hopefully the eye will go there, or is strong enough to catch your eye. And then I had an idea, which is to put the floor going across, so that's one concept you could do. The only downside to that is it might look like that's the end of the page maybe, but it's quite a nice way to make the illustration, I don't know, just feel a bit more like it's with the page. And at this point, am I adding more icons? Wow, let's see which one I add. No. So, oh yeah, and then the name, of course, I went with Home Smarty Pants. That's where I got it. And then yeah, you can see even the first one might work. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and my name is Roy. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you do like the video, let me know, and I'll try and do these more often with the slowed down version. So have a good morning, afternoon and evening. Bye.